Alex Turner, at 24, was a civil engineer with a blueprint for life that was as meticulously designed as the bridges he dreamed of building. He saw the world in structures, in load-bearing walls and stress points, in the graceful arc of a well-planned highway. His mind thrived on logic, on the elegant solutions that brought order to chaos. Yet his own life felt increasingly chaotic. Fresh out of a top-tier engineering program, he was buried under a mountain of student debt. A suffocating weight that pressed down on his aspirations. He spent his days at a mid-sized firm in Portland, Oregon, drafting mundane blueprints for suburban cul-de-sacs and parking garages. His ambitious designs for sustainable urban developments, towering, eco-friendly structures that breathed life into concrete, gathered dust in a portfolio no one seemed to care about. He dreamed of leaving his indelible mark on the urban landscape, of building something lasting and meaningful, but felt invisible, a mere cog in a slow, grinding machine of bureaucracy and uninspired projects. The thrill he'd once felt for engineering was slowly being eroded by the relentless drip of disappointment. His mother, Sarah Turner, a public school art teacher, was his quiet anchor, a living testament to the power of patient creation. She lived by the principle that true value came from honest effort, from the meticulous, patient craft of creation. "You build things with integrity, Alex," she'd often say, her hands stained with paint or clay, a testament to her own dedication. Whether it's a bridge that stands for centuries or a painting that moves a single soul. "Shortcuts always have hidden costs, darling. They might seem faster, but they often lead to unstable foundations." She had instilled in him a profound love for genuine creation, for the beauty of a well-executed plan, for the satisfaction of seeing something authentic come to life. She was the tailor, meticulously sewing the new blue jeans of his moral fabric, a garment of honesty and enduring values. But there was also the pervasive shadow of his father, Mark Turner. Mark was a charming, restless spirit, a perpetual gambling man who always had a next big thing, get-rich-quick schemes, speculative online investments that promised astronomical returns, high-stakes poker nights that ended in either fleeting triumph or crushing defeat. He lived a life of exhilarating highs and soul-crushing lows, always chasing the immediate thrill, always promising a grand payoff that rarely materialized. He left behind a trail of broken promises, disappointed hopes, and a pervasive sense of instability. His life was defined by the suitcase and a trunk of constant pursuit and fleeting satisfaction, never truly settling, never truly building anything lasting. Alex feared inheriting his father's impulsiveness, his hunger for the quick win, the allure of the easy path. But the temptation, in his moments of frustration and financial strain, was a quiet hum beneath his skin, a discordant note in his otherwise orderly mind. One drizzly Portland evening, the city lights blurring through his rain-streaked apartment window, Alex felt the weight of his student loans pressing down harder than usual. He'd just received another rejection for a grant application for his vertical farm concept. In a moment of quiet defiance, he posted a detailed conceptual design for a self-sustaining vertical farm online. A marvel of civil engineering and eco-friendly design, complete with intricate water recycling systems and modular growth units. It was a passion project, a piece of his soul. It gained modest traction, a few dozen likes, a handful of thoughtful comments from fellow enthusiasts. Then, an anonymous, encrypted message landed in his inbox. It was an invitation to the Apex Collective. The message was sleek, almost hypnotic, its interface glowing with an ethereal, deep blue light. It spoke of a new paradigm, a community of visionaries, tired of traditional gatekeepers and slow, outdated systems. It promised unlocked potential, instant recognition, and lucrative opportunities for digital talents. Tired of your genius going unnoticed? It read, the words seeming to pierce directly into his deepest insecurities. The Apex Collective is where true influence is forged. We build the future, one viral wave at a time. Join us and transcend the mundane. The language was intoxicating, promising an escape from his mundane reality, a direct path to the recognition and financial freedom he craved. It was the sweet path his father always spoke of, disguised in modern digital allure, whispering promises of a gilded future. Cynical but desperate, Alex accepted. He was immediately impressed by the collective's virtual hub. It was a sophisticated, almost clandestine network, a hive of activity populated by brilliant anonymous minds from around the globe. Projects moved at lightning speed. Ideas that would take months to pitch and years to approve in the real world were conceived, executed, and amplified within days. He met Silas Blackwood, the enigmatic leader, through encrypted video calls. Silas was charismatic, his voice a smooth balm that seemed to bypass Alex's logical defenses, his arguments persuasive and laced with a seductive anti-establishment rhetoric. He praised Alex's untapped genius, his vision for systemic change, his ability to see beyond the conventional. He convinced Alex that the traditional world was indeed slow, corrupt, and unjust, designed to stifle true innovation, and that true impact could only be made by operating outside its rigid boundaries. Silas was the architect of this wide path, a digital Pied Piper leading ambitious young talents into a new kind of wilderness, where rules were fluid and success was immediate. Alex's first assignments were seemingly harmless growth hacks. He was asked to rebrand existing lesser-known digital art pieces with subtle modifications, presenting them as original concepts. He'd tweak a color palette, add a new texture, or change a perspective, then upload it under a new, anonymous profile. Then came the use of sophisticated bots to inflate engagement metrics for collective members' content, creating an illusion of viral popularity. He crafted clickbait headlines for articles that sacrificed journalistic integrity for maximum shares, knowing they would generate clicks and add revenue. He rationalized these actions as just playing the game, necessary to be noticed in a crowded world where everyone else is doing it. His online numbers, followers, engagement, and surprisingly, income from sponsored posts and anonymous payouts skyrocketed. The adrenaline of instant fame and easy money was intoxicating. It was a rush, a constant high that drowned out the quiet anxieties of his student loan statements and the gnawing feeling that he was compromising his artistic and ethical principles. Power not only tests character, but often reveals it in its purest or most corrupted form. Emily Chen, his former college classmate and close friend, watched Alex's explosive online success with a mix of genuine happiness and growing unease. Emily was a digital artist herself, building her career slowly, ethically, one genuine commission at a time, valuing authenticity above all else. When she saw Alex's new viral content, she felt a subtle discord, a manufactured quality she couldn't quite pinpoint. "Alex," she'd say during their rare video calls, her brow furrowed with concern. "Your new work, it's so different. It feels manufactured. Are you happy with it? Is this really you?" Alex would become defensive, evasive, dismissing her concerns as old-fashioned or not understanding the new landscape of digital influence. He was pulling away, his digital success creating a chasm between them, a silent, widening rift. The deeper Alex was pulled into the Apex Collective, the more the opportunities became morally ambiguous, then outright unethical. He was tasked with creating sophisticated smear campaigns against rival online businesses, manipulating public opinion through carefully crafted disinformation. He designed intricate phishing schemes disguised as legitimate surveys, harvesting user data for anonymous clients, selling it on the dark web. The money was abundant, flowing into his offshore accounts with dizzying speed, far beyond anything his civil engineering job could offer. The fame, though anonymous, was addictive, feeding a hunger for validation he hadn't known he possessed, a craving for power he hadn't realized lay dormant within him. But with each morally compromising act, Alex felt himself becoming increasingly disconnected from his original artistic self, the civil engineer who dreamed of building, not destroying. The House of the Rising Sun digital was consuming him, line by line of malicious code, pixel by pixel of corrupted data. He began to chase the high of viral success and easy money with a desperate intensity, mirroring his father's compulsion for the next big gamble. He became restless, paranoid, constantly checking analytics, obsessively monitoring the impact of his digital attacks, unable to find genuine satisfaction in anything. The quiet hum of anxiety turned into a persistent buzz, a fear of exposure, a dread of being caught. He isolated himself from Emily and his mother, their attempts to reach him met with curt replies or ignored calls. Their voices, once anchors of his conscience, now felt like inconvenient reminders of a life he was rapidly abandoning, a path he was betraying. The anonymity of the collective allowed Alex to unleash a destructive side he hadn't known he possessed. He reveled in the power, the intoxicating sensation of being untouchable, of manipulating the digital currents from the shadows. He could tear down reputations with a few clicks, sow discord with a cleverly worded post, and watch the chaos unfold from a safe distance. But this power corroded his soul, leaving a hollow ache where his integrity once resided. He started experiencing blackouts, not literal unconsciousness, but periods of intense, almost manic focus on collective projects where he lost all track of time, emerging hours later with a vague memory of frantic activity, a sense of having been driven by an external force. He'd then discover the latest feats of the Agent of Anarchy in news headlines, feeling a strange mix of horror and a perverse satisfaction, as if he were watching a stranger's destructive masterpiece unfold, a masterpiece he somehow knew was his own. The Agent of Anarchy was becoming a separate entity, a monstrous shadow he couldn't control, a reflection of his deepest, darkest desires. The digital attacks escalated in both frequency and severity. The agent of Anarchy moved beyond mere corporate sabotage, targeting individuals with chilling precision. A prominent online educator, known for her ethical stance and community building, was publicly humiliated by leaked, fabricated private messages. Her career ruined overnight. Her online presence erased. A small, independent bookstore owner's online fundraising campaign, vital for keeping their doors open, was sabotaged. Their financial records manipulated to show fraudulent activity, leading to bankruptcy and the heartbreaking closure of a beloved community space. The harm was real, tangible, and devastating, impacting innocent lives and livelihoods. Alex felt a growing sense of dread, a cold knot in his stomach that tightened with each new report. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was not just building a digital empire, but actively destroying lives, and that the agent of Anarchy was not just a distant persona, but a terrifying part of himself, closer than he dared to imagine. One of the targets of the Apex Collective was a small online art gallery, the Artisan's Nook, known for promoting ethical, independent artists and fostering a genuine community around art. Emily admired this gallery deeply and had even collaborated with them on a few small projects, seeing it as a beacon of authenticity in the digital art world. The collective launched a devastating defamation campaign against the Artisan's Nook, flooding social media with fake reviews, fabricated accusations of fraud, and manipulated images, swiftly ruining its hard-earned reputation and forcing it offline. Alex felt a sharp pang of guilt, a profound crack in his hardened facade. The attack affected something Emily valued deeply, something that represented the very path his mother had taught him to follow, the path of genuine creation and integrity. This was different. This wasn't just abstract digital chaos. It was personal, striking at the heart of his own buried values. Horrified by the attack on the Artisan's Nook, Emily decided to investigate the agent of Anarchy on her own, driven by a fierce sense of justice and a growing, unsettling suspicion. As an artist who understood digital footprints and creative styles, she began to notice subtle signatures in the malicious content. A unique graphic design flourish in the fabricated logos, a particular turn of phrase in the anonymous manifestos, even a specific obscure font choice that she remembered Alex using in his early college projects. Before his success. The idea, once unthinkable, that Alex could be the agent of Anarchy began to form in her mind. A terrifying whisper in the back of her thoughts, growing louder with each discovery. She started cross-referencing, digging deeper into public records, social media archives, and obscure online forums. Her journalistic integrity overriding her loyalty to her friend. The more she found, the more the pieces clicked into place, painting a chilling picture of a man divided, a friend lost to a destructive obsession. Emily gathered enough circumstantial evidence, the precise timing of the attacks aligning with Alex's late nights or periods of intense isolation, the unique digital fingerprints left behind in the code, the thematic instances that mirrored their past conversations and his hidden resentments. She knew she had to confront him, not with accusations of being the agent of Anarchy directly, but with the undeniable evidence of his changed values, his destructive path, and the profound damage he was causing to others and to himself. She arranged to meet him at their old college coffee shop, the Daily Grind, a place filled with memories of shared dreams, late-night study sessions, and ethical aspirations, hoping the familiarity would break through his defenses. "Alex," Emily began, her voice steady but laced with pain, the words carefully chosen to pierce his carefully constructed facade. "What happened to you? To your art? To the person who used to talk about building sustainable cities, not tearing down reputations?" She pushed her tablet across the worn wooden table, displaying the ruined online profile of the Artisan's Nook, its vibrant images replaced by a stark, page not found message and a flood of hateful comments. This is what the Apex Collective did. This is what you're involved in. You're destroying lives, Alex. Real lives. Alex initially denied it, his face a mask of indignation, his eyes darting, searching for an escape. He deflected, growing furious, accusing her of being naive and stuck in the past, of not understanding the new rules of the game. But the sheer weight of his actions, the unwavering, heartbroken gaze of Emily, and the direct, undeniable impact on something they both valued, slowly began to crack his defenses. He saw the genuine pain in her eyes, a mirror reflecting the pain he was causing and the pain he felt within himself. Then, the dam broke. Alex had a psychological collapse right there in the coffee shop, a painful public unraveling of a mind fractured by the relentless pressure of perfection and the corrosive power of his secret life. He confessed everything: the anonymous invitation, the seductive charm of Silas Blackwood, the initial, seemingly harmless growth hacks that spiraled into full-blown digital warfare. He spoke of the suffocating weight of societal expectations, the relentless need to be the architect of order, the good son, the ethical engineer, the perfect friend. He described a growing resentment, a dark, creative urge to dismantle, to expose, to create chaos as a desperate release from the rigid structure of his own life, a life he felt was stifling his true self. "It started small," he choked, tears streaming down his face, his voice raw with anguish. "Just little acts of digital defiance, a protest. Then it grew. It became a separate part of me, a way to breathe, to be truly free. But it consumed me, Emily. It became the master. I tried to stop, I tried to lock him away, to code him out of existence. But he was stronger. He was me. The part of me I hated, but also the part that felt alive. He admitted the blackouts, the waking up to news reports of Agent of Anarchy's latest exploits, feeling a strange mix of horror and a perverse satisfaction, as if he were watching a stranger's destructive masterpiece unfold. A masterpiece he somehow knew was his own creation. The aftermath was devastating. The Agent of Anarchy was exposed, and the digital world reeled from the revelations. Alex Turner, the respected civil engineer, became a symbol of digital betrayal, his name synonymous with online malice. He faced severe legal consequences, his career shattered, his reputation in ruins. Nexus Innovations, though not directly involved, suffered immense damage due to the exposure of its former employees' actions. The ball and chain of the song manifested not only in the very real legal battles and potential imprisonment, but also in the crushing public shame and the agonizing internal struggle to reconcile his two identities, the builder and the destroyer. Alex embarked on a long, arduous path toward redemption. He collaborated fully with authorities, providing crucial insider information that helped expose the full extent of the Apex Collective and bring Silas Blackwood to justice. This was his first step in rebuilding, a painful act of dismantling the very empire he helped create. He sought intensive therapy, a necessary and often brutal journey to understand and integrate his fractured nature, to confront the dark impulses that had driven him. He slowly returned to his true passion, ethical design and genuine art, starting small, working in obscurity, embracing the hard path that his mother had always championed. He designed public art installations that promoted community and connection, not division, finding solace in creating beauty rather than chaos. Emily, despite the initial shock and deep hurt, remained by his side, a testament to the strength of their bond. She offered support, not an easy forgiveness, but a steady, unwavering presence. She was his platform, the stable ground he needed to step onto to begin again. She helped him find small, ethical projects, patiently reminding him of the joy of genuine creation, of the quiet satisfaction that came from building something with integrity. The story ends with Alex, years later, still rebuilding, still battling the lingering effects of his destructive past, but finding true satisfaction in honest work and genuine connections. He no longer seeks instant gratification or viral fame. He builds something real, brick by brick, pixel by pixel, mirroring the tailor's spirit of his mother. He finally understands the warning of the House of the Rising Sun, not just for others, but for himself. That the most alluring paths often lead to the deepest traps. He found his new blue jeans again, not sewn by his mother, but by his own renewed commitment to integrity. A fabric woven from hard-won lessons and genuine effort. His life is a testament to the difficult, often silent, return to the path of good, a path that, though narrow, promises true fulfillment.
That's it, folks. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of English, please subscribe to EnglishTaleBox for more captivating narratives and language insights. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who loves a good story or is learning English. Thank you for watching.